Hey guys, hey, how are y'all doing? I wanted to jump on an Astro Chat. The energy is getting very weird. Like, it's like twitching. Like, the vibe right now is just twitching. I wasn't really planning on getting on right now, but, sorry, I was just trying to situate a bit here. Oh, baby sleeps on lap. Yeah, so this is getting very interesting slash awkward slash real. I'm getting here from spirit. I was meditating. I'm seeing here that what the energy signature of what has been at play is going to be getting very very obvious. Like, and for some of you, this is something very controversial involving I'm hearing a number of families, a number of bloodlines. I'm here specifically when we're talking about shadow work. We're talking about, let's clear. Oh yeah, let's find the sacral. Some of you, this has to do. Oh, it's getting very complicated. Okay, but it's not. It's simplifying. But before we sort of get simplified, we see what has been at play in a more complicated sense, or what has been sort of complicating. Okay, the storyline. So for some of you, I see that this is the past coming up for review. Some of you here, your karma will be turning around. Okay, what was so-called owed, what was owed to you, yes, we're going to say it clearly, will be brought back into your life in the way that it is meant to be in your life, in the way that it is meant to be. I hear it like this. Let's clear it on the throat chakra. Not like, oh yeah, I need this, so I'm going to make it happen. Like, I'm going to force this to manifest in my reality. No. But like, this is just at peace in this way, and I happen to resonate with it when I'm at peace in my way with my higher self. So those things, and let's back it up. Let's clear it on the sacral of the root. This is a matter of the hard work that you've done to do your shadow work, right? And to realize, well, what is it that it doesn't fit? And these may even be people, places, things that, you separated from at a certain point. And it wasn't because it wasn't real. It's just you felt, you know what? In this situation right now, I'm not able to really acknowledge what it is that I need for myself. Something doesn't quite fit. Sometimes it's not that we're with the wrong person or in the wrong situation, but it's everything around it, right? Sometimes it's not that we're not enjoying that time with that person, but hey, maybe we're feeling kind of nauseous and we need to step to the side for a minute and do a bit of I'm hearing our shadow work, and I'm hearing alone. So for some of you, I see that this is a heavy purging cycle, and I feel like some of you definitely will be hearing back from people who you haven't heard from in a long time. And for some of you, these people will be coming through having a massive awakening realization, possibly with an apology. Now, that is not. Let's clear. Wow. Let's clear in the sacral. Let's clear in the crown. Now, for some of you, this is a whole gamut, right, that we're talking about. These are people who suddenly fucking realize your worth, like, oh my god, like, maybe you should actually be hanging out with so-and-so. Okay, fuck that. In terms of your story, right, you are going to be facing many situations like this where people don't get you, and they think you're a weirdo, and they think this and that, and they want to judge you. And then they suddenly have some, aha moment, and maybe at that point, it's too late in the sense that you don't resonate with that space anymore, right? So this is not a matter of saying, oh yeah, like it's time to bring all these people back. Like, we're just sitting here waiting for these people to have their epiphanies, and that's governing where you're at in your life, especially, let's back it up. Now, some of you do have very complicated situations. I see that this is something. Let's back up. I see something very, let's clear in the sacral and the root and the crown. Again, for some of you, you do have something coming towards you. This is your gift. I hear it like this. You'll be coming into your gifts. This is going to be amazing. I'm hearing it like this, very exciting. Things are changing, turning around for the better. What's important, Spirit says at this time for you, is that you remain focused on what feels right to you, okay? Try not to intellectualize, okay? Would this make sense, like, within the broader spectrum of so-and-so, where, I may be working in this way down the line with so-and-so, I'm hearing it like this. That's not the point. Okay, let's back it up, quick threshold. For some of you, I do see that you will be ending a contract in the next few months. Currently, though, It may not be so obvious or clear what that contract is, or, you know, it's almost like one of those things where it's just suddenly like last minute. It's like it just kind of happens, you know those moments. It's just like, that just feels right, actually. Maybe you hadn't planned this. Okay, this is just a heads up. So, you know, Spirit's saying try not to maybe plan so much ahead, because sometimes the changes we end up making are not the ones that we planned for. This is what I'm hearing specifically. Some of you here do have a number of people. Let's back it up, clear the retrograde. Yeah, so Spirit is saying, you know, just chill, try to relax during the cycle. It's not so much what you make of it. Try not to feel the sort of pandemonium of like, I need to go somewhere with this, okay? It's really a matter of settling into you at this time, and you know, not feeling obligated to circle back. Let's clear the sacral. Some of you, this is, I keep hearing, okay, this is happening in someone will be purged from your life. I'm hearing like this for many of you. I feel like there is still some sort of core attachment. Spirit is giving a heads up that in the next few weeks, for some of you, I'm hearing AD. In the next few weeks, and for some of you, I'm hearing, yeah. Okay, there's something that is going to be released in stages. Now, I don't know what that means for everyone. All right, you're gonna, yeah, take it as you will. We'll get more into this in the readings. Let's back it up, clear throat chakra. We'll get more of this possibly in the readings. So stay tuned in the next few months. But there's something that, you know, it's, do we say it's unfortunate? Well, it just wasn't working. So what do we want to do, you know? I hear it like this. And it's a moment where we say, I don't have to make sense of the situation. And for some of you, that might be others as well. It's like others are trying to maybe make sense of what it is that you are doing, and it's like you wanted them to understand. It's like, I'm hearing, like, I'm done with that whole thing. I don't need for so-and-so to understand why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing for myself. And that could be just a subconscious thing, right? It's not always that it's like up front, close and personal with our subconscious psyche, right? It could be in the back of our mind. Okay, where we're just like, we're thinking about how so-and-so feels about what we're doing, or we're worried about, you know, that, and I'm hearing none of that is going into the next dimension, and as you ride that wave out to your true destiny. We're not getting there by way of, I need to please this person, and this person needs to understand who I am for the collective. I'm hearing that's so irrelevant. You guys are on a path that's very unique to you. And you know what that is and how it feels, and when it needs to change, when you are in alignment with listening to your higher self, right? Which is a highly meditative state. It's not a logical state of mind. Okay, of like, do we get along? I'm hearing that as well. Are we going well with things? I don't know what that means. Some of you maybe are in a, let's go. Okay, Spirit wants to slowly maybe like kind of like so-called give more on what this is. Okay, let's go in the sacral and the root. Let's go in the lower back. Throat chakra. Some of you do have an apology coming. Oh my god, you may have several. Some of you, especially if you're dealing with a Libra, or somebody who's got a lot of Libra. Yeah, somebody here is feeling very guilty, very remorseful about how they treated you. Now, yet again, this does not mean like, yeah, so happy together, like, apology equals reunion. It's like, no, this is just the karma and it's turning around. So that's good, that's great. I mean, but it doesn't mean that you're there, right? So this is about you being independent and saying, well, maybe I'm not sitting back there waiting on your apology, right? As I was, yeah, no. So this is about being fluid and saying, who am I today in this present moment? Not in the context of this person and where they're at, and where they're at in the stage of realizing that, you know, maybe even like, yeah, so-called we're meant to be. It's time to release the identity and identification with the theme of fear that's associated with time and space. I need to do this by this time. We need to be together by this date. We need to do these things together in that way. Okay, by this I'm hearing by this level up stage. No, there's none of that. Okay, like everything is already manifest. You just have to identify with what feels that it resonates with you, right? Because it's all resonation. It's not really creation. We're not here really like, you know, it's ironic, yeah? Seeing yourself as a creator, you're not really, it's not that you're creating something, okay? And then, you know, conversely that you create that thing and then you could lose that thing. No, it's just what shifts here, right? Perspective. Okay, the only thing that shifts in this dimension is perspective. And so when you may lose or gain perspective, that's the important thing. And that's why it's so important to check in with yourself and say, you know, okay, well, I could have had that back there, or you may have this down the line, but in the present moment, I don't have to have it be anything for me to feel at peace with it. And that's very important. You may want to watch this video a few times over. Okay, there are a few messages here, sort of in between the lines. You may want to watch this video a few times over. I'm hearing that again from Spirit. Really, when you watch messages several times, you may derive a lot more from that particular, we'll say, so-called, yeah, that so-called little nugget. So yeah, take it as you will. And that includes the readings as well. Seriously, like watching, like, let's say, Pisces, August, the first time around, you'll get something from that, and then you watch it again, and it's amazing. Personally, I find that to be the case for myself, and I know a lot of people here do feel the same. So now for some, you're very powerful. Spirit wants to remind you that you are really very, very also connected. And it's ironic because in this dimension, this is the dimension where we feel we need something to qualify how we connect to things and people and places and even ideas. Sometimes that is even the logical mind, right, that gets in the way and says, well, why do you feel that you need that thing, or why do you feel that you relate to that person that way? That's not really the point. I'm seeing a cloud of dark energy here. This is a certain, I see it as a sort of, it is truly like an infection of the consciousness, right, where we feel we need to be worthy also, so-called, of a certain, even healing experience. And so let's clear the energy. Some of you, these are people in your environment. Okay, I see it very clearly now. You guys, for some of you, you do have people in your environment who are not healthy. They're just not in a healthy state of mind. When it comes to how they see themselves, we're not talking like, oh, they're toxic and blah, blah. This is just sheerly in terms of how they observe this reality that is a matrix, right? And it has many different sort of, universes, okay? And perspectives and vantage points from which we choose to align, right? In terms of our perspective that we hold in making our way through this so-called realistic experience. There is the need, okay, sometimes to detach from how it is that we identify in a collective sense. Interestingly enough, even though we are having a collective experience, micro, macro, cosm, but this very important to remember that your relationship to others is not that relationship that you have to your higher self. Being a leader and a light worker at this time in this dimensional planet Earth is really about detaching. And that doesn't make you a bad person or a bad light worker, or whatever that means. It means that you, okay, are I'm hearing aware of yourself. And so what really needs to be purged is what really is toxic, and what really needs to be purged is the thought mantra that we need to align with others to be more aligned with ourselves. Okay, that we need to feel like others get us in this space of how we get ourselves, that we need to be in alignment with others, so-called. And everyone is a mirror, right? Is a perspective, and you have the right to say, I don't align with that. I just don't relate to that anymore in the way that I used to, and I choose to detach. Okay, I choose to detach, and that is you detaching from a mirrored perspective. And so, where others want to sort of indebt you or make you feel like, no, like you need to like stay. I'm hearing that song. So won't you stay with me? It's like, no, I won't. And it's because I'm not here anymore, and that could be, again, just very subtle. So for some of you here, you are detaching, maybe even, from people, places, things that you thought you would never detach from. You honestly thought, I can't ever imagine myself losing love for this person. It's not about love. It's just, again, resonation. It's about recalling, okay, you and your higher self back into you. And when you're doing that, you can't be focused on anything but what feels right to you in that moment, in that time, in that space, right? And others may be like, wow, look at you, you're so selfish these days. Like, you're just kind of like focusing on yourself. Well, why are they not doing the same? Why are they so hyper associated and focused on your material, physical, tangible, even for some of you, worldly identification? Interesting. Take it as you will. Some of you, you're famous. I see that. You're very well known. And you're like, I don't want to be, I don't want to be sort of like, so integrated. I see that. Maybe you want to, kind of, I see you want to flush out. I see someone here very, very well known. You just want to flush out. Let's clear and throw chakra down the right side of the body. You just went through something maybe very like challenging. You're like, I just want to, very maybe even a bit possibly traumatic. It's like, I want to just flush out like my friend circles right now. And you have the right to do that. People get attached to you. I hear it like this. Doesn't mean that you need to be there for them. And that's where it's the cross shadow work that you're doing, where you say, I now lead you to your own shadow work, and I'm going to drop you off there, and it's a bye-bye. This reminds me of the Aquarius reading. I'm hearing Billy Idol, Billie Eilish, which is, I don't know, eyelash, I don't know, Billy. I'm here, Billie Jean was not my lover. It's like, you know, but we did make love, so it's like, what? It's like, I don't really have anything to say. This is a channel message. This can be meant in a number of ways, metaphorically, it doesn't have to be literally, but yeah. It's gonna throw a shower. You're elevating, and it's that simple. And so we have to step out of this chattery mind chatter, and it's, you know, and when we do that, we're not having grudges, we're not holding hatred in the heart space, right? We're just saying that person's in the fucking matrix, and that's that. And I'm over it. I'm over the fact that that's the situation, and I'm over the fact that I would need to change that, because that's not the. I'm not working with facts. I'm working with my spirit, my spiritual. Let's clear it. Yeah. So okay, my reality. I'm hearing it like this, and how I check myself into it. For some of you, this person, I see someone here. I'm gonna letter H. They're very clingy. Okay, I see this person like coming into your space. It's like, I am here. It's like, I did not invite you into my story. I hear it like this. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I see something about wind here. I don't know. Maybe this is something about the weather on the day you met this person. I'm hearing Francesca. It's like, you need to let go of, you know, think of when you know you're not resonating with someone, why do we like not make that boundary known? Okay, and when you make it known and like you feel like someone doesn't appreciate your boundary, well, that's kind of like a rapey energy. Can you step back, sir? I'm hearing like this. Oh God, here we go. Okay, oh God, here we go. Hey, LED. Hey, I remember we were saying something about LED generous. Like, I'm generous, but to a certain point, yeah, I remember. Hey. Let's back it up. Yeah, there's something that, no, like, I thought that said Missy Elliott for a second. Missy Francesio. Interesting. We just had something, Francesca, we just had something, let's go back. And for some of you, this person wants to take credit for your work and you know it. You're just tapping into that, like, you feel it. By the way, I'm channeling here because you're curious. You're like, I know what your plan is. And it's like, okay, some of you, I feel like you're being nice to this person. Like, you're still being maybe nice. Like, you don't want... Hey Lisa, you don't want to create this like strange, but then you're starting to realize this person trying to take my life over. I'm hearing that. My life savings even. I don't know what that's about. Okay. This is reminding me, I'm hearing Amber. This is reminding me of a few months ago. We did a channel message. It was like 5 hours with the charms. You guys remember that? It was someone was like it was like a procession. Anyways, something really, I'm smelling freshly cut grass here. Now, for some, you do know exactly what's happening here. I feel like some of you you have something about, you're well known, and I feel like you're thinking about that, but honestly, for some of you, it may even be a client. You're like, listen, I know that if I detach from this person, I may lose some of my following. I hear it like this. But you're saying, I'm not here for the following. I'm here for where I am following myself. When I'm too focused on where those people are going to, when I'm speaking my personal truth out loud and clear for myself, yeah, I'm gonna lose my focus. Okay, and so that's a trap. That's a trap, and that's where we say, you know, even as content creators, we think more the better. Oh yeah, more followers and more of this and more of that. No, not necessarily. Sometimes it's a good thing when certain people fall off of your message. Okay, yeah, and sometimes it's a good thing if most people find you. They can't understand you. That's sometimes a very, very, very good sign, okay, that you're also purging. Yeah, and you're doing, clearing to your aura. More is not necessarily better, It's like, wouldn't you rather work less hours but work very, oh, I think the phone is going to die. Shoot, the phone's going to die, guys. But work in such a way where you don't need to like consistently work. This is so ridiculous. Oh my God. this chord world is just like the karma is so karmic. So yeah, we were saying Isaac, baby. We're saying, yeah, it's quality over quantity. Okay, we're not here wanting just like more. It's not about like more. It's not about like, you know, even anything at all. And that goes for, maybe it's like, hey, like, I don't want to be in a relationship if that relationship's going to take away from me and like how it is that I feel in my life with myself. Maybe I want to be single, I'm hearing that. Maybe, you know what, I don't want to be with you, I'm hearing that. Maybe I don't want to be in a relationship. And this is, I feel like some of you are really trying to make a break. Some of you, you're in a very, maybe, you know, I just keep seeing somebody here who's in the limelight even. It's like you're starting to realize, like, I don't really want all these so-called friends. It's like, these people are draining me. I'm hearing that. Oscar. Yeah, I feel like you want your private time, you want your private space. Let's back it up. I see somebody, yeah, you're like backstage. It's like you're starting to feel kind of like this is not your life. It's like you're just going along with this, like, anyways, now you're realizing where maybe others are in the matrix and like they're not reacting well to you, but that's all, that is your perspective, right? I'm seeing 21-21 on the clock right there. 21-22. Let's back it up. This isn't the way you, this is not. Ooh, some of you, I would really maybe take a vacation. Those of you who are like heavily, I see someone backstage, you're like interacting with all these people. It's like, goddamn, like all these people are, you know, kind of like also complicating your, it's like you want to just have time for yourself. It's like you can't. All these people constantly talking and like, I see people eating donuts. I don't know, like backstage is so specific. I see something looking a bit like on the back of the set of like American Idol or something. I'm just seeing something very specific there like that. But for some, it's like, you know, you just kind of have like a silent epiphany, okay? And I don't think this is something that you want to like kind of explain. Maybe you're transitioning, you know? You're like, well, maybe I should just kind of like start looking for maybe even like another, you know, but I think it's not about another conversation. I think for some of you, you're craving solitude, okay? You're craving, you know, meditative time alone. This is someone's very particular message, but please, you know, this is a general video. Talk to your psychologist, naturopath, talk to your psychologist, your psychotherapist before making any major lifestyle decisions. You know, it's important. But for some, I see that it's just kind of like I'm not clicking with these with what everyone is also like chattering about, you know. And it's like there's that moment where you just identify it, that this is not what you want to be spending your time focusing on. Now, for some, it's not that you don't, let's say, like this industry, or it's not that you don't like this conversation. Oh my, I see that for some of you have someone here. I don't know why they are so, some of you, you're a chef, you're, okay, so there's a bit of a warning here, guys. Some of you, if you will be detaching from someone here, I do see that someone here is not in favor of that. Let's clear it. This, I don't want to freak anybody out, okay, but this is maybe, let's back it up. This is maybe more on in a political way, even, I don't know. I see someone maybe even like threatening you or like getting a little violent, God forbid, but that, you'll know what that means for you. Like, you don't want to have maybe an issue with someone. I don't know what that means, but please, yeah, talk to a specialist, okay? If you're dealing with something rather toxic, I don't know, you really want to talk to somebody here. I'm hearing Carthage. Maybe you are even a whistleblower and you want to call something out, and you feel like you doing this is gonna make really huge waves that, and I feel you're right, and I feel like, yeah, and I see a lot of people here. I'm hearing overturning. Yeah, this is, I feel like a multi-layered message. on one hand, you're saying, okay, how do we describe this? There's a lot going on, right? I feel like you want to go out on your own. Okay, it could even be with a company, within a company. I feel like maybe you don't believe in the, let's give an example. You don't believe in the philosophy of the company. You think that they don't have morals. Okay, yeah. Now, for some of you, you're like, should I try and talk to the company and prove it to them that they're not doing what's right? It's like, I think you're gonna get to the point where you're saying, I want to keep silent about this and go off on my own. Okay, and you're just gonna kind of make your moves in silence is what I'm seeing for some of you. Okay, something about someone's dad. I see for some of you, you feel something can get it could get heated quickly. How many of you know what this is referring to? You may want to talk to your, obviously also like seek legal counsel before making any major decisions. Oh man, I see something kind of like a little bit I see something radioactive. Now, this is something that you may be wanting to expose, and it does come down to the bloodline. I hear this again, matters of the bloodline. Some of you, it's like I see that you've identified something, but you do want to illuminate this. You feel that this is the right thing to do, but you may want to go about it in your own way. I don't know what that's about for everyone. This feels very sticky. I feel like there are a lot of people involved here. I see for some of you, it's like from different angles. If this is political, it may get kind of weird. Okay, it may get kind of creepy. Okay, for those of you who may be in politics, I'm hearing days. For some reason, I see a conversation escalating, but it's like when someone okay, so Spirit is saying, you know, don't debate, maybe? You don't need to debate this, and that's the whole point, right? Maybe you feel like, you know, you want to do something about it's about what you do with yourself. It's about what you do with yourself. If you feel something is toxic, step out of the situation, right? Let's back it up, clear throat chakra. How many of you know what this is referring to on a scale of 1 to 15? 15 being like, I'm hearing I see how the milk and the cow works. I don't know what that's about. Oh dear. Let's back it up quick. Some of you, oh, okay. I see that you've made a decision actually already. I feel like you're maybe a little wary. It's like, I see some of you needing even to like kind of I see you, for some of you, escaping a situation. I'm hearing, this is my happiness, this is what makes me happy. I'm hearing that. I see you, like, running away from some situation here. Somebody wanted to negotiate something with you. They wanted to discuss something. I feel like this is, for many of you, political for some reason. I don't know. For some, there is something going on. There is, for some of you, something going on. This is gonna get a bit weird. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to, like, freak people out, but, like, for someone here, like, just be aware that I feel like some people here are invested in what you're saying or doing, or, I don't know. I see something about a chef in the back of the kitchen. Like, that's really coming up here. Something about a chef in the back of a kitchen. but that could be a metaphor. I feel like this is political. I'm not, I don't want to come out and say like, oh yeah, like this is applying to everyone in a personal way. This may be something that you hear about on the news, okay? I'm hearing it like that. For some of you, this is an investigation. For some of you, this is going to be a stingray operation. Yeah. And this came through in the Gemini reading days before. We literally said something. It sounded like the craziest reading, and then pop on the news comes through the whole thing with Trump. Okay, where they raided his house in Florida. You guys remember that? Yeah. So, and I remember that reading specifically. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. My spirit wants us on here and to talk about this, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's clear it on the rest of the body in the right ear. Yeah, and he's a Gemini. This is very interesting. So anyways, it's very interesting. Well, it is what it is. Okay, for some, well, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I'm seeing something about, yeah, this is definitely for some of you. Somebody is going to be like, I do see like a break-in. I see someone kind of breaking into someone's property. I see something about water. I do see for somebody this may even be a natural disaster sort of thing. In the sense of it's meant to be though, okay? Like I'm seeing something about crawfish. What's that? It's like some kind of seafood. I'm seeing something about seafood. New Orleans, Louisiana was coming through a little while back. Something can be linked there, but for some, so something can be related, or that message may be. I don't remember which video it was in that we were talking about that, but Louisiana, New Orleans. For some of you, some kind of it could be something. I see like a flood of water here washing over some space. I'm hearing the letter S. Something with the letter S. San Sebastian. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing Sebastopol. Anyways, I'm hearing for some of you this is a business that's gonna this is let's clear it unless anybody. Okay, so Spirit wants to we'll keep it quiet more so about this. We'll maybe get on later with some. I don't know why I feel like you're involved in this, though. I do feel some of you are personally involved in this. So what's going on? I feel like you definitely want to protect your aura, you guys. We're going to come